What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Falco, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the build that I use for my level 25 archer on Archetype Creations Alpha 2. This is obviously going to change as the alpha progresses, but for now this I feel like is one of the better builds since I play archer, and I've been playing a lot of hours on archer, so I've tried to min-max it. I'm going to give you guys 3 variations of this build to take you through if you're soloing, or if you don't have a lot of people, if you have a tank, and also if you're in the Tower of Carfin, because the Tower of Carfin is a little different in my opinion from doing other dungeons like Citadel, Steel Bloom and stuff. So I'm gonna give you 3 variations of this, so listen up and we're gonna get into this. But I was gonna put this in my episode 10, by the way, of my Astro Creation, not playthrough, I guess you would call it, but just my day in the life of playing Astro Creations Alpha 2. I was gonna put it on day 10, but I was like, this video is probably gonna be too long, or this what's called informative video is gonna be too long, so I didn't want to put this in the beginning of that, because that video is already going to be pretty long in its own right. So for anyone who wants to, who's level 25 and doesn't know exactly what they should be putting on their bar for their archer, watch this video because it should help in most scenarios. But yeah, if you guys like these type of videos, you guys want to see more in the future as the archer develops more and gets more well-rounded and gets its buffs, nerfs, and all that, I do plan to do updates every time they, give a buff or a nerf to the archer. So be on the lookout for these videos. Be on the lookout. But yeah, make sure you guys like, comment down below, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that jazz. Don't forget to check out our podcast, me and Yami's podcast. We have it every Monday on the Rebirth Radio channel, which is down below. And also check out my streams Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on Twitch. I stream all day. And use my Astro Creations creator code if you do not have an account on astrocreation.com to support your boy. Go use the code down below and create a free account on Astro Creation. But let's get into this shit. Alright guys, we are in the game now, and I'm going to show you exactly what you guys should be putting on your bars. Alright guys? Alright. So for me, right now, I've been doing a lot of just walking around, gathering resources, and just soloing. So this bar is gonna look a lot more AoE controlling and a lot more zipping around. But I'm gonna start from the bottom so you guys know what you guys should be getting. Obviously, all your whole stamina bar is gonna be filled out because you're level 25, so that doesn't really matter. I do use a short bow. I will go over that tree after this. That tree honestly doesn't really change much. I don't think it should change at all, honestly. It could carry over to Carfin, to big teams with a tank, and also solo play. So I'm gonna show you that, but we're first gonna go over the class skill tree. For me in particular, I would take all the scatter shot. Both passives are just so good. You get an extra scatter shot charge, plus you get the chance, if you need to just focus down a mob, you get the chance of becoming a held ability. Not chance, but you get the option of it being a held ability, which makes it do even more damage. So I'm like, those are both good. Same thing with disengage, especially if you're solo. You get basically from the passives, you get omnidirectional, which is free, doesn't even cost a point, it's 0. And you also get reinvigorating disengage, which basically when you use disengage and it hits an enemy, you get an extra charge of it, so it lets you basically be able to kite stuff more effectively. So definitely take what's called disengage, both passives for it, as well as headshot. Take both passives of that too as well, because mortal headshot's just good. If anything's below 50% HP, it does 50% more damage, and refreshing headshot just makes it so you can have your uptime more, because if you hit a marked enemy with headshot, it pairs really well with you using lightning reload, because you can basically have it off of cooldown extremely fast if you double headshot into a marked target. So definitely get that. Since I'm running solo right now, I take weighted arrows because it basically snares all the enemies, and it works really extremely well with blind field, and it works extremely well with bear trap for me to be able to just kite stuff and get stuff off my back. So definitely take that. If you're in a big team with a tank and you're not in Carfin, I would definitely use barbed arrows because it's just extra damage. If you're in Carfin though, you should definitely use, I'll show you. You should definitely be using imbued, or what's called concussive arrows, because if you guys didn't know, concussive arrows make it so your magic, the person you're hitting with the concussive arrows with dazed, the magical cast speed is reduced by 25%. And if you guys didn't know, magic cast speed works on enemies when they are using channeled abilities. Such as when you're in, if you guys have been to Carving yet, a lot of you guys may not have been, there are these enemies on the 3rd floor that use these basically like corruption eruptions where they can like almost one-shot your tank, and they can use them pretty quickly. But if they're dazed, they aren't able to channel that ability as quickly, and you can have like your bards or your healers basically what's called interrupt it. You can have them interrupt the ability. It's easier to interrupt when they don't cast abilities so quickly, so it's extremely good in Carfin. I would use that in Carfin, but I probably wouldn't use that anywhere else, honestly. Yeah. But barbed arrows for a big group when you're just trying to like zerg stuff down with a big team with a tank that's not Carfin. And then yeah, weighted arrows if you're solo. I would use Hunt of the Tiger, honestly. It's probably one of the better hunts out, because I'll show you the other hunts. There's the Hunt of the Tiger, there's the Hunt of the Bear, which is really mostly useful probably in PvP, but I haven't used it in PvP, in like large scale PvP, because I haven't had it. Or you can have Hunt of the Raven. I personally don't feel like physical penetration, it gives enough physical penetration to warrant being used as a target ability, but I do know that the higher I move my critical rate on my character, the more damage I'll do, because it's like a flat 10% increased damage as long as I'm critting. So I would definitely use Hunt of the Tiger. You can kind of choose which one you feel works the best. Me personally, I think Hunt of the Tiger works best as of now. As well as Snipe, I take Snipe, and then I also take Hastening Snipe, which gives 20% increased attack speed for 5 seconds after you use Snipe, which is extremely good, because you can use Snipe into a rapid fire and then just keep, you know, popping them with the short bow. It's extremely good. I would take Bear Trap and take both passives. They're actually pretty good, like I said, especially if you're doing solo, which is for me extremely good. If you didn't know, Bear Trap, the more snared, like the more you have snared stacks, the better the trap works. For each snare stack you have, you get 1 extra second of the root for the bear trap. So you can just have stuff rooted almost in that, like all the time, basically, with the bear trap. There is a diminishing return on roots, I noticed, when you root and you snare too much. So you have to time in between when you're gonna root and stuff, so that the diminishing returns kind of aren't as like diminishing, I guess you would call it. Yeah. But Trap Slinger is extremely good because you get throw other traps and they deal double damage, so it's really good for that. And also you get 3 traps. You get Bear Trap, Multi Trap, so it's just more ways that you can trap stuff and snare it and root it. So it's extremely good, especially solo. I would definitely take Thundering Shot and the passive, because Thundering Shot itself, it gives what's called, the primary target is dazed. The effect consumed what the target becomes silenced if you hit a dazed target. And if you're using these arrows, concussive arrows, and you use Thundering Shot, it basically makes it so you stop them from using their skill. As well as Explosive Shot. Explosive Thundering Shot makes it so it's an AoE, so you gotta have that. It's extra AoE. Vine Field, extremely good. Turns your bleeds into hemorrhaging. Hemorrhaging's not really good yet, but it's like your only source of extra damage really on this in AoE. So you definitely want to take Vine Field, as well as the extra snared stacks that you'll get from ensnaring Vine Field. So you want to take that. I personally like Mark of the Raven the most out of all the marks, because it's just extra damage, especially when you're using a short bow. You just get so much extra damage because you shoot so fast with a short bow, and every time you hit with the short bow, you get 33% extra physical damage. So I personally like it the most out of all the marks right now. Mark of the Tiger or Mark of the Bear, not that great in my opinion. Reduces the mitigation by 25%. It's not crazy. And Mark of the Tiger, in my opinion, I feel like it's not the greatest. It might be better once I'm like closer to 50% innately, like my base crit rate is 50%. It might be better, but for people with low crit chance like me, I feel Mark of the Raven's the best, especially with a short bow. Going on from that, you take all your other damaging skills, raining death, you take air strike, and you take Me personally, I like Call of the Wild because it's, for one, it only has a 30-second cooldown, and every 30 seconds you use it, you get 20%. What's it called? You get 20% movement speed, so you're able to just zip around. No one can catch you. You're quick. You're just quick. You pair that with your, what's it called? With your Strider, get 30% extra freaking movement speed, and you're just thumbing. Yeah, you almost run faster than mounts with it. You gotta have it. It's just really good. You can obviously switch this out for PvP. I don't have a PvP build yet. If you guys want me to make a PvP build for you guys, let me know in the comment section and I will. But obviously you would want to probably get unyielding Call of the Wild so that you will be able to break all CCs. But I'm not using this build for PvP, I'm using it for PvE. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about this build. As well as, let's go into the weapon. I use a two-handed sword. If you guys want to know how my two-handed sword looks, this is my two-handed sword. I use bleed on the two-handed sword. I mean, you could use snare or wounded, but I have enough ways to snare shit, so I don't need it. Keen edge, more bleeds, and rhythmic swing. I also, on my short bow, I go into all penetration. I go into deadly finisher, basically, so it triggers it the most. You definitely got to have refreshing follow through, because this makes it so you're able to regenerate mana extremely well in teams and on your own. You want to also kind of, I just put it into anything, honestly. Up here, it didn't really matter. You could choose either side, but you also want to put these for extra penetration, weapon training penetration, and weapon training penetration. Same thing for these, as well as you want to go with deadly extended finisher chance. Just go through that whole tree, as well as bleed. And then you also go with inner fire, because this helps with regenerating mana and stamina and HP. And it's just good. It's just a good way of basically being able to keep your own HP up as you're doing damage and kiting. I also take bullseye, and I also take arrow storm on the whole side of arrow storm, because I like the extra damage. When you're hitting a lot with the short bow and you're attacking extremely fast, that extra damage kind of adds up, and it just feels good. I mean, I like to see a lot of numbers on my target, so it just helps with my fantasy of being able to do a ton of damage with the short bow. I don't have a longbow build, but if you guys want me to make one and try one out and give you like a guide for how to build your longbow, let me know and I will. But this is how I play the archer. It may not be, I think it's really good. I think it's really nice. If you guys want to see the gear I have, I'll show you the gear. Let me show you the gear real quick. This is the gear that I'm using right now. It's gonna get better. Right now I just made it to 25, but we're using short bow Briarholm, so it's a 2-mock bow. I'm using the iron greatsword. I'm using Carfin jewelry, which gives lifesteal and additive necrotic damage. I'm using both earrings, and I'm using both rings and the earrings. I'm also using a Rubidium necklace. I'm using a Griffin cloak, which is pretty good. I'm using Ashen Hunt pauldrons. Dang, let me move this down. I'm using the medium set, or the, what would you call it, the archer set from, not the full archer set, but the Blood Runner bottoms from Carfin. I'm also using Ashen Hunt boots. I'm not using the heavy set. You're like, fuck, why are you using the heavy set? I mean, I just like the defense right now. So I'm able to get a full Blood Runner set. This is what we're going to be using. But we're using Griffin gloves. I'm using fan braces from Carfin, the heavy set, Ashen garb, and a Griffin hood. That's the vibes. As you see, we have 116 strength, 368 physical power. I'm also gonna give you guys, this is a bonus tip for all my people out there who may not know this. If you're in a city where there is I'm not sure if they have one here. No, it's not. This one's at Jova. Actually, no, we're at Jova, so it should be here. Let me see. It's probably up here more. Is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys. If you're at a city where there is an apprentice scribe station, you want to make sure you're buying these things right here, which I'm gonna show you. They actually sell apprentice scrolls of dexterity. If you guys know what these are, you can get the ones that are the novice ones from the shop to the right of what's called Ruins of Ayla, and they give you 8 of whatever stat you want. But you can get ones from this area. If you talk to your scribe vendor, you can get actual apprentice ones, which gives you 8 more stats to like strength, intelligence, whatever you need. And you already know that gives you a lot of freaking extra damage. If I get the strength ones, think of it. I can get 16 times 3. What's that? 48 or something like that? Yeah, it's 48. That's 48 extra physical power and accuracy and penetration if I do that. But I chose the 16 one. Well, 16 dexterity, which gives me extra crit chancing and attack speed, which is 32. Think about it. That's a lot of extra, you know, stats for the boy. So just think of it. Just think of that. Think about it. That's just another way to get it. And also don't forget to get your, you know, your fresh salads and stuff like that. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, check out the Discord, check out the streams. Follow me on social medias. Don't forget to use my Archetype Creation creator code down below when you create a new Archetype Creation account on Intrepid. Oh, not Intrepid Studios, on ArchetypeCreation.com. And also check out the podcast. We do have a podcast called Rebirth Radio every Monday. Check out the channels down below. Also go support the boy Yami. He also makes Archetype Creation content, very good content. Go check him out. And I think that's everything, honestly. But thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out. Don't wanna say goodbye.